This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the New Zealand Transport Agency is urging Southland drivers to take extra precautions after a series of accidents today. Police have arrested a 39-year-old man for wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm following a stabbing in the city. And a Southland farmer says he would be in a better position if his cattle actually were infected with Mycoplasma bovis. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The New Zealand Transport Agency is urging Southland drivers to take extra precautions after a series of accidents today. The region has seen the first of its winter frost this week and icy roads are already causing havoc. Sharon Rees reports.
Temperatures in Southland dipped to -3 degrees this morning, making for a busy day for emergency services and the New Zealand Transport Agency.
We've had two reasonably serious crashes that we are dealing with at the moment, assisting the police. One on Nith Street where somebody's lost control and had a power pole. That power pole was leaning and we've had to shut the state highway until that can be restored. And we've had a bus rollover that's just occurred in the last hour. So the team are en route to assist the police in setting up detours and intervening and making sure that those people are treated as safely and efficiently as possible.
He said the Te Anau bus crash, which involved 17 passengers and multiple serious injuries, was caused by black ice, which contributes to the most dangerous road conditions.
Black ice is probably our most treacherous road surface condition. It's something that can't be seen when you're driving, and it can happen just with fog or with a light drizzle, so it's something that's very, very, very dangerous.
As Queen's Birthday weekend approaches, the Transport Agency is pushing for drivers to take extra precautions.
You know what your limitations are as a driver, and winter is not the right time of year to be pushing any boundaries. We know that the majority of our crashes happen early in the morning through winter, so that's the time where people are most at risk. Obviously as the sun comes up, it deals with the ice on our behalf, but until we can get everywhere from that 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the morning, particularly need to take care at that time.
The Transport Agency is encouraging drivers to use its road safety app, On The Move, to keep up to date with any interruptions or dangerous driving conditions for their journey. For more information, visit onthemove.govt.nz. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
The Mosgiel Pool project has received a massive cash injection. The Otago Community Trust has granted the project $1.5 million in its latest funding round. The Wanaka Water Sports Facility Trust has also been granted $400,000 for its new lakefront facility, while Otago University's Music, Theatre and Performing Arts Department has been given $450,000. The Otago Community Trust has also confirmed a significant increase in funding levels for Otago's social service agencies, which is up by nearly 50%. A man has been arrested in relation to a stabbing at a boarding house in central Dunedin. Police have confirmed a 39-year-old man was arrested for wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm and is set to appear in the Dunedin District Court tomorrow.
Police officers with rifles attended to the scene at a boarding house on Graham Street in central Dunedin late yesterday. It's understood witnesses saw a man who'd been stabbed. Several police cars were parked outside the boarding house at the end of Graham Street, which runs off High Street in Dunedin. An ambulance was seen leaving the address around 4 p.m. St John Ambulance says a 30-year-old man was taken to Dunedin Hospital with serious injuries. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
The Queenstown Lakes District Council is warning motorists to take it easy on the region's roads as winter conditions set in. The council is dubbing the situation a game of roads, with the last hours of autumn bringing freezing fog, sharp frost and loose grit across the district. Extreme caution is being urged for Arthurs Point Road and Cardrona Valley Road. The Central Otago District Council says extra caution is advised around damp areas, bridge decks, hill sections and shaded areas. Mount Cook fell to minus 7.3 degrees this morning. Dunedin Airport recorded minus 5, while Lumsden hit minus 4.5. A Southland farmer says he would be in a better position if his cattle actually were infected with Mycoplasma bovis. Ngā Tahu has cancelled its contract with John Young, who says he's now staring down the barrel of extreme financial hardship.
Unwanted and rejected, Southland farmer John Young has raised 1,000 calves for Ngā Tahu, but they've cancelled their contract with him in the light of the Mycoplasma bovis saga.
Stock agent received a text message from Ngā Tahu's stock agent saying that their Ngā Tahu lawyers had decided that we were unable to prove the stock were free of disease and that they didn't want to proceed.
Young says he took care to source the calves from trusted suppliers, but he says communication between the iwi and the farm has at times been frustrating.
They never actually specified what disease they were talking about. The implication was that it was the M. bovis, but never come out and said so much.
That's despite the Ministry for Primary Industries giving the calves a clean bill of health.
I approached MPI and they said, well look, if there was any links, we would have shut you down by now.
Ngā Tahu offered him a settlement of $10,000, but Young reckons that'll still leave him about 150 grand out of pocket. The delay means the calves have consumed a lot of extra feed, and now he's having to sell them at a heavily reduced price.
The communication's pretty much stopped with them in the meantime. We're trying to get them sold for whatever we can get for them because we simply can't afford to keep feeding them. And then we'll try and address the balance there with them down the track.
Ngā Tahu haven't responded to calls and emails asking for comment. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, the little workers behind the window at Cadbury World are sealed off, and a scientist from the University of Otago goes hunting for DNA belonging to the Loch Ness Monster.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We've got a deal for you. We bought a huge bulk order from Lee Stretch Moleskin. So comfortable, nice stretchy fabric, and they're in 6 colours. And the deal, $20 off a pair, or if you buy 2 pair or more, $25 off a pair.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So that's Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin, Cromwell and Mosgiel.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
It's on again, the Star Regent 24-hour book sale. Starts noon the 8th of June. Don't miss out.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoai Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Stay warm this winter with Alistair McCann's Wood and Coal door-to-door delivery. You don't have to lift a finger. Call Alistair to order today on 454 3592.
Being a big softie takes training. I've gone to great lengths to become even softer while still being strong and reliable. The new me is bigger and softer than ever.
Cotton Softs. Softness and strength you can trust.
Too late to sow seeds? Don't despair, the solution is at hand. Call Ready Lawn today for your year-round lawn needs. Call now on 03 486 1819.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Dunedin's top football on Channel 39, Saturdays at 7, Sundays at 2 and Tuesdays at 3:30.
Welcome back. Uber has finally launched in Dunedin. The rideshare company opened for business in the city today with plans to launch in Queenstown next week. Uber spokeswoman Nikki Preston says she's delighted with the response the company has received from drivers, especially in Dunedin. Uber has been operating in New Zealand for 4 years, but was previously only available in the North Island and Christchurch. Dunedin's already had a taste of Uber's offering, with Uber Eats launching in the city last month. The animated window display of elves making chocolate at Dunedin's Cadbury factory has been covered up once and for all. The move follows the closure of the shop and cafe located in the former chocolate factory.
From Cadbury to Cadbury to the once happy elves who laboured industriously for many years in the Cadbury window display on Dunedin's Cumberland Street have now been blacked out. The window was covered yesterday by signage company MCK Design and Print, who were formerly regular contractors for the Cadbury company. The chocolate factory closed earlier this year with around 200 staff made redundant, and that's left visitors to the city disappointed they can't get a taste of the famous factory.
Well, we did hope to be able to do a tour. I thought that the tours, but then I had it in the back of my mind that somebody told me that they'd closed. So we were a bit disappointed. But I'm very disappointed about the whole Cadbury's factory going from Dunedin.
MCK Design and Print say the window display has been covered to avoid any ongoing confusion about whether it was still open. Dominic George, The South Today.
A group of New Zealand scientists are hoping to solve the mystery of the Loch Ness Monster. The existence of the famous underwater monster in Scotland has puzzled people the world over for more than 1,000 years. But now a team led by an Otago University professor is setting out to find the answer to the age-old question, does Nessie really exist?
From the Edinburgh of the south to somewhere closer to the real Edinburgh, a squadron of New Zealand scientists are hunting for Nessie at Loch Ness in Scotland.
I'm going to start a new project using environmental DNA technologies to look for evidence of what lives in Loch Ness, and we might even find a monster.
Professor Gemmell says he's shocked at the interest coming from far and wide.
I mean, I guess I sort of expected that people would be interested, but been quite surprised at where the inquiries come from. So we've had interest from obviously United Kingdom and New Zealand, Australia, United States, but also Japan and China and a whole bunch of other countries.
Historical evidence of Nessie mostly comes from a few sketchy photographs and eyewitness accounts. Gemmell says their team is out to prove or disprove if there is, in fact, a creature in the famous Scottish loch.
You know, there's about 20 of us, and most of us have now met by Skype or in person. This will be the first time of us all working jointly on something. So there's going to be some interesting interactions as we sort of get to know each other and how we work. I'd like to do that out of the media spotlight, I'll be honest.
The scientists will use environmental DNA sampling of the waters to identify tiny DNA remnants left behind by life in the loch. They're hoping that may just provide enough clues to find out for once and for all if the Loch Ness Monster is indeed fact or fiction. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
After the break on the South Today, a flash mob celebrate New Zealand Music Month in Wanaka, and we bring you mostly clear skies in tomorrow's weather around the south.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We've got a deal for you. We bought a huge bulk order from Lee Stretch Moleskin. So comfortable, nice stretchy fabric, and they're in 6 colours. And the deal, $20 off a pair, or if you buy 2 pair or more, $25 off a pair.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So that's Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin, Cromwell and Mosgiel.
It's on again, the Star Regent 24-hour book sale. Starts noon the 8th of June. Don't miss out.
Too late to sow seeds? Don't despair, the solution is at hand. Call Ready Lawn today for your year-round lawn needs. Call now on 03 486 1819.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Stay warm this winter with Alistair McCann's Wooden Coal door-to-door delivery. You don't have to lift a finger. Call Alistair to order today on 454 3592.
Join us! 7 p.m. Saturdays, 2 p.m. Sundays, 3:30 Tuesdays. Oakley's off the bar.
Thanks for staying with us. All Blacks loose forward Luke Whitelock has recommitted to the Highlanders, Canterbury and New Zealand Rugby to the end of 2019. Whitelock, who made his All Blacks debut in 2013, has played a total of 84 Super Rugby matches, including 34 for the Highlanders. He says he feels he's playing some of his best rugby at the moment and is enjoying his time in Dunedin with the Highlanders. Whitelock captained the Highlanders to a historic win against the British and Irish Lions in 2017 and has led Canterbury to 3 consecutive titles in the Mitre 10 Cup. As New Zealand Music Month nears its end, one Upper Clutha group is still putting smiles on people's faces with its contribution. For the 2nd year running, La 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 Inc. has been performing a popular Ladies Six song in flash mob style to unsuspecting people in Wanaka, and it seems their appeal is spreading far and wide.
An impromptu invitation to hear some live music. Wanaka group La 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 Inc. have invited locals and tourists to take a load off and enjoy their rendition of If I Gave You the Mic by Lady Six.
If I gave you the mic, would you lend me your hand? Life beats down from New Zealand to Japan. I like a beats to the point. Your papas understand. If you know what I mean, then you know.
Spokeswoman Liz Breslin says the idea for the performance came from a fellow band member who'd watched something similar online from Germany. The performances were filmed throughout New Zealand Music Month and posted on social media, where they've had over 8,000 views so far.
Ever since then where they meant, girl, you really took them. Better than love of the fresh fruit time, 16 years old now, listen.
Breslin says it's not something that makes anyone money, but from the comments she's heard, it seems to make people proud of their place and their people. The group is around 15 strong, with members ranging in age from primary school pupils to adults. La 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 Inc. received grants from both the Upper Clutha Community Arts Council and the Queenstown Lakes District Council for the project. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The New Zealand Transport Agency is urging Southland drivers to take extra precautions after a series of accidents today. Police confirm a 39-year-old man is due to appear in the Dunedin District Court tomorrow after a stabbing in the city. And a Southland farmer says he would be in a better position if his cattle actually were infected with Mycoplasma bovis. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Phil Somerville.
Yes, hi Melissa. Here's a picture planning to use tomorrow, quite dramatic, of the bus that crashed near Mossburn with the Korean tourists on board. So
yeah, I was going to say that's a very dramatic photo.
Also tomorrow there's big progress being made buying land for the new Dunedin Hospital, so we've got a report about that. Talking about land, the regional council's showing interest in buying the Dowling Street car park from the DCC with the eye on its new headquarters. So there's a report on that as well. Inside Out pages tomorrow. Kim Dungy's really an interesting story on a house up in St Clair which looks over the ocean and the golf course, and because of the limits of the site it sort of works in sort of two cross beams. I started looking at it just before I came here and thought I'd better read on and find out more about it after I get out, so look for that story.
Sounds interesting.
Uber launched in Dunedin today, so we've got a report and photo to go with that, and Queenstown's due next week, so interesting to see what that does to the taxi business.
Yeah, definitely.
And the opinion page, Friday, our Faith and Reason Day for most, and article there from Richard Dawson, who's the moderator of the Presbyterian Church and also minister here in Leith Valley Church in Dunedin. Chris Trotter talks about the countryside and has a different perspective on it. He notes that there actually are more Labour voters there than you would think, not just the farmers, the stock agents and the small business owners, traditionally national voters, but he says there's more others votes there, and sometimes those people are taken for granted. And there's another article on the Disney firing of Roseanne, putting that in the wider picture of what's happening in the United States.
Yeah, that's a really interesting debate.
It is. Regional pages, plenty from around Otago and into Southland tomorrow, including tomorrow's our Wanaka Times Day, so there's a focus on some Wanaka stories. And I thought Friday I should mention sports, because it's the sports tabloid page. And sports editor Steve Hepburn looks at all the intriguing head-to-head matchups for the Highlanders Hurricanes match tomorrow night. You know, matchups like Bowden Barrett versus Lima Sopuanga and so on, all right up and down. And the Friday lift out also always includes that column from Paul Dwyer, who it's always interesting reading, and he always mostly manages to upset a few people along the line with some controversial comments and interesting insights.
So we'll call it polarising.
Polarising indeed.
Always makes for great debate. Thank you. So you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Today's southern view is of traffic in Dunedin at sunset. Looking at the situation, a depression is developing in the Tasman Sea and will inch towards New Zealand this weekend, bringing rain to the North Island, but southern districts will remain mostly fine and cold as a ridge of high pressure just south of the country keeps the clouds away. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, Balclutha and Catlins can expect light winds with clear skies and a high of 7. Gore and Lumsden are also in line for light winds with clear skies and a high of 8. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes area, Alexandra has light winds, clear skies and a high of 6. Queenstown light winds, clear skies and a high of 5. And Tiana can expect light northerlies, some cloud and 9 degrees. Wanaka light winds, clear skies and 7 degrees. Travelling up to the northern towns, Oamaru and Timaru are in for some light winds, some cloud and a high of 9, and it's similar inland with Omarama and Twizel expecting light winds, clear skies and a high of 7. Dunedin can expect clear skies and cold with an overnight low of 2 degrees. Tomorrow brings a day that's sunny with cold temperatures and moderate northeast winds. 9 and 5 are the high and the low, and it will turn cloudy and cold on Saturday with winds continuing with a high of 10 and a low of 7 degrees. And in Invercargill it will be frosty with an overnight low of -1. Tomorrow is to be sunny with light winds, frosty nights, cool days. 10 and -1 are the high and the low of the day, and the same for Saturday with a high of 11 and a low of 1. That's our news for this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel39.co.nz. Stay warm and have a great evening. Take care. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.